So it's funny that you ask. Like a lot of business owners, I face the challenge of getting multiple phone calls every day about people who can help me in a variety of ways with my marketing, my advertising, can get me more leads. It's a challenge. Who do you know who to trust? I've been so fortunate. In 2011, Andy and I met for the first time. Now, like you, I was probably skeptical in the beginning, but I quickly realized that this guy not only had the experience and the background, but the knowledge to help me do what I was trying to do. I wanted to grow my business, and I knew that the internet was going to be the future. It was the how I was going to get there. So I put a small budget together and I gave it to Andy. We started initially with SEO, and things went very well. As the years went by, we did more and more together with internet marketing. Finally got into, around 2013, a fairly significant pay-per-click advertising budget, and that's when things really began to change. So Andy and I have a unique relationship. We meet approximately monthly. He's very flexible with the scheduling, and that matters to me as a business owner. When we meet, we sit down face to face and we talk about what he's been working on, what the results have been. He does a great job with tracking and genuinely has an honest care and concern about my successes. He's not trying to sell me something. He's wanting to learn what's been working. It's important that we track, so we're able to give him qualified information in return. And together we've developed a highly successful program. We've seen great results. So prior to starting business with Andy, I had a few other gentlemen that frankly seemed to be more concerned with what they could sell me than they were with what my results would be. I didn't feel like I had a true advocate. I felt like just another salesperson who didn't really care about me, didn't really care to find out what was working and what wasn't. They just wanted additional budget. Andy's been very different. He's been truly concerned about my business, wants to know what's working, and with the regular meetings, in most cases face-to-face, we've been able to build that trust and that relationship. I look forward to many more years of the type of successes that we've had so far. So after a couple of years of being in pay-per-click advertising with Andy, he encouraged me to set aside a larger budget. So reluctantly, I agreed. I had the faith and trust that he had my best interests in mind, so I went ahead and increased my advertising budget with him by 30%. At the time, that was a fairly large increase. Now, we went through it initially, and it took a moment to begin seeing results. There was some optimization that needed to happen, some trial and error, but he convinced me to stay the course. As a result, from that 30% additional advertising budget, we saw an increase of 153% to our total sales originating out of internet marketing. It was second only to current customer, which in my industry and here at Peachtree Pest Control has historically been standalone the best lead source for us. So to see that type of result in such a short period of time, less than a year, was fantastic. Last year alone, from 2016 to 2017, we saw an average lead increase of 651. That's about 50 plus leads per month that we saw. Now, when you consider the seasonality of our industry and the off season, it's primarily wildlife control, those leads go for somewhere around $1,500 per closed sale. To quantify that further, there's somewhere in the order of $70,000 a month additional revenue originating from my affiliation with Andy and K3 Tech. It's been fantastic, and I would highly suggest any other business owner who is interested in growing their business and doing it with a trusted advocate to rely on Andy. I've done it, and I would strongly suggest you do the same. So like a lot of business owners, I was very skeptical in the beginning. You know, I had gotten to know Andy and I had a sense of trust with the man. I knew he had my best interest at heart, but I didn't have tremendous experience at the time with pay-per-click advertising. Internet marketing was something we had been in for some time, but specifically Google AdWords, we've yet to, at that time, really do a lot with. So Andy convinced me. Now's the time. Jump in there, give me that additional budget. Listen, if it doesn't work, I'm not going to obligate you to a contract. Now, for a business owner, that's music to our ears. You're willing and so confident in your product that you'll go out there and put all the time and energy and investment into it on the front end and expect me to do no additional obligation. I think that's fantastic. So I agreed. And like I shared with you, we saw tremendous results as of that decision. So if you're on the fence and you're wondering, is this the thing for me? You have nothing to lose. A small budget will get you started. There's no contract, and you've got a real advocate. I would, to any business owner out there who's on the fence, strongly recommend you give this an opportunity. You won't regret your decision.